Your resume is the reason you're not getting replies, not your experience, not your English, not your country, your resume. Last video I showed you the exact visa and the exact websites to find sponsorship jobs in Australia. Today I'm showing you how to make an Australian employer actually open your application and say, we need this person. Let's fix it. Welcome back, or welcome if you're new here. If you haven't seen the last video, go watch it. Link in the corner. It covers the 482 visa and where the real sponsorship jobs are hiding. This video picks up right where that one left. Here's what we are covering in the next 10 minutes. 1. The 3 things on your resume that gets you auto-rejected before a human even reads it. 2. Exactly how to format a resume the Australian way. 3. The one line you must add that most applicants leave out. 4. How to write a cover letter that makes sponsorship feel safe for the employer, not risky. And 5. What to do after you hit apply. Stay till the end. Number 3 is the line that gets interviews. Now, let's start with what's killing your applications right now. Number 1, a photo on your resume. Don't do it. Australian employers don't expect it, and in some cases, HR teams are trained to skip resumes with photos entirely to avoid bias claims. Number 2, your age, marital status, or a headshot style. Personal details block. Cut it. Nobody asks. It just clutters space you could use to sell your skills. Number 3, a resume longer than 2 pages for most roles. Recruiters in Australia spend seconds, not minutes, on a first scan. If your best material is buried on page 4, it's never getting read. Now let's build it the right way. Start with your name, phone, email, and city, not full address. Next, a short summary, 3 to 4 lines, not hardworking team player. That's filler. Say what you do, how many years, and the result you create. Example, registered nurse with 6 years in the acute care, specializing in patient load management in high volume wards. Then work experience, most recent first, with achievements, not duties. So don't write responsible for patient care. You can write reduced average patient wait time by managing a caseload of 12 in a fast-paced ward. Numbers, always numbers where you can. Education and certification go after experience, not before, unless you're a recent graduate. Here's the line most overseas applicants leave out completely, and this is near the top after your summary. Open to relocation. Visa sponsorship. Visa sponsorship may be required. Why does this matter so much? Because most employers skim hundreds of resumes. If they don't know you need sponsorship until the interview, you've wasted everyone's time, including yours. Saying it up front does the opposite of scaring employers off. It filters you straight to the businesses who are actually set up to sponsor and saves you from chasing the ones who are not. Confidence here reads as professionalism, not a red flag. Most people treat the cover letter as an afterthought. Don't. This is where you make sponsoring you feel low risk. Open with the specific role and where you saw it. Second line, name the shortage. Something like, I understand registered nurses are in national shortage across Australia, and I'm ready to fill that gap immediately. Then one short paragraph connecting your biggest achievement to what they need. Close with this. Almost word for word. I'm eligible to apply for a subclass 482 skills in demand visa, and I'm happy to provide any documentation to support a smooth sponsorship process. That single sentence tells the employer you've done your homework. That alone puts you ahead of 90% of applicants. That means you need to go check the eligibility criteria to be sure that you meet the requirements. After you hit apply, don't just apply and wait. Find the hiring manager or recruiter on LinkedIn. Send a short, polite message, not a copy of your cover letter. Just a one-line note saying you've applied and you're genuinely excited about the role. Update your LinkedIn headline to include the words open to visa sponsorship. Australia recruiters actively search those exact terms. And keep a simple tracker. Company, role, date applied, follow-up date. Sponsorship hiring takes longer than normal hiring. Don't mistake a slow reply for a no. Let's recap fast. 1. Strip the photo, age, and personal details. 2. 2 pages, achievements, cover duties, numbers everywhere. 3. State upfront that you're open to relocation and visa sponsorship. 4. Your cover letter should name the shortage and mention the 482 visa directly. 5. Follow up like a professional, not like you're begging and desperate. If this gave you even one thing to fix on your resume tonight, make sure to hit subscribe, because next up I'm breaking down real interview questions Australia sponsors ask and exactly how to answer the one about visa status without sounding nervous. Comment your occupation below. I'll tell you honestly if your resume angle needs work. And if someone you know is applying blind right now with the wrong resume, send them this video before they waste another application. Also, I've left a template of this resume in the description. You can go grab a copy for yourself. Remember, a great resume doesn't beg for a chance. It makes the decision easy for them. Go fix yours today. See you in the next one.